Okay, so today we have stolen the keys to Raj's GR Yaris. At the moment, all we've done to this car is the power-based audio install. Sounds amazing. Make sure you check out the video up here somewhere, especially for the price, it's well worth it. Today we're going to be talking about what's going to be happening next. So long term, we've got a lot in store for this car. What we're going to be doing is like almost an OEM plus like a club sport sort of design. We've got a lot of parts already here. We just need to find the time to do it. We're going to break that up into a few different videos. But for me, it's been a while since I've driven it. So I'm going to jump in, get reacquainted with it, go from there. Okay, so my name's Matt. For those of you lucky enough not to have watched any of my videos, I'm from the tuning store. So we deal with all of the performance side, all the exciting stuff, intake, suspension, wheels, exhaust, all of that. Right, so the GR Yaris that we have stolen from Raj today, I've been lucky enough to drive it a couple of times before. I think there's a video where a few of us take it out with Raj, like a first impressions thing.
The car is so small and it weighs about as much as a Bible, so I think the brakes are always going to be pretty ridiculous.
Again, this is almost first impressions because I haven't driven this in a long time, and even when I did, it wasn't very far. It is a fast car, there's no getting around that. It is so easy to drive as well, it almost inspires confidence. Being four-wheel drive, it does handle very well. You can chuck it into corners. It is a little bit wobbly, but you never really feel like you're going to break traction. You lean a bit, but you know exactly what's going on all the time. I think that is a great feature about this car. I think coilovers will sharpen up a little bit, give it a proper nice low stance. Gearing in this car is also really nice. So it's quite a nice short throw. It feels proper connected, like it's a solid, like a clunk when you put it in. It is really nice. For the first episode, we're going to be looking at KW coilovers, V3s. So let's get back to base and show you what's going on. Okay, so with the choice of coilovers, obviously there is a lot to think about, a lot of choices to go with. We're not biased by any means, but we did have to pick one, and we've gone with KW. Specifically, we've gone with V3s, purely just for the adjustability. So you've got the compression and rebound adjustment, you've obviously got all the height we can change as well. We're gonna hand him over to Sam, we're gonna let him crack on, we'll probably catch up with him when he's got one on. Okay, so we've got the struts off the car. Let's go through what we've got for a second. To start with the fronts. So these have got about 5,000 miles on them, I think. So not very much at all. They're big, old, chunky, heavy boys. No adjustments on there whatsoever, to be fair. Very basic. I mean, they weren't bad, but could definitely be better. So here we have our KW V3s. There's a lot more adjustments on here. So when we were driving the car earlier, the main thing I noticed obviously was the suspension. It is good, but it was a little bit wobbly in corners. You did feel like you were leaning. So what we're going to focus on mainly is obviously the compression, the rebound, just make it a little bit stiffer, a bit lower as well, but mainly just make it a bit sharper, a bit tighter in corners. We've got the rear spring and the rear shock on the car. With these, obviously, you've still got the dampening adjustments, you've got the height adjustability. But I think, yeah, let's get this finished up, get it on the floor. Be good to see how it drives now. Okay, so first impressions, I think Sam's nailed it, to be fair. It's really not too low. It's stanced a lot better, like you can tell. Compared to factory, it is low. But speed bump clearance, which is one of Raj's sort of main things. Yes, the wheel offset is all wrong. The fitment looks terrible now. We could have gone for spacers, but I think inevitably we are going to change the wheels, so we're not going to bother with that for the time being. I think that's all we need to touch on for now. So if you want to check back in with us after we've got it aligned, we'll do our first road test and see how it drives now.
Connect to a Wi-Fi network.
So we are here at Swift Performance. Josh and Russell, the owner, they've very kindly offered to help us out with the alignment because obviously the steering wheel and the wheels are all pointing different ways. So Swift Performance, they're a track preparation specialist. They're very good at what they do. Like I say, they've very kindly offered to help us out with this. We're going to get it up on the ramp. We're going to see just how bad it is, get it all corrected, and then after that, we're going to go for our first drive and get proper first impressions for it. So let's pop inside, see what's going on. Josh, how's it going?
Yeah, good.
Can we get the car in?
Yeah, sure, boss.
Let's go. The car's back from road test. Russell's done an absolutely amazing job. We appreciate him so much for fitting us in last minute. There's a few more adjustments made than we were anticipating. We're going to go through exactly what's been done. So this is Russell, the main man.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Russell, for fitting us in.
That's okay.
Can you just quickly run us through the problems you found? Not problems.
Not
Things
problems,
we didn't do correctly.
I mean, it's not even not doing correctly really, but it was probably sat a little bit low before. We've raised it a little bit.
It's about 10 mil we've raised it.
Raised it about 10 mil, yeah.
Is
I
that
don't want to
just-
upset you guys, because I know you like your rides low.
Slightly against our ethos, but it's got to be done. Obviously, on the track
But
car.
we'll see what it looks like when you put the other wheels on. Might just need to come up a smidge.
A little bit.
But we'll see. It should be okay, but...
So we've raised it in the first place just so we could do those extra adjustments because as it was.
I mean, it was decked out. It had loads of camber on the back. Probably just too much to then try and
apologise for nothing.
got sort of a fast road kind of set up on it.
So obviously we did the raising.
Yeah.
What else did we do?
Camber bolts.
Camber bolts as
Yeah.
well.
And then the alignment.
Aligned it, made sure
Yeah.
the wheels are front.
Yeah,
the right
yeah.
way. So this is going to be the first time we've actually have driven it properly. We'll give it some beans on the way back to Cass. And yeah, let's jump in, see how it feels now.
Enjoy.
Thank you, Russell.
No problem.
So we are just leaving Swift Performance, having the alignment, the tracking and some camber bolts done. But yeah, this is the first drive, first proper drive since everything has been on, set up correctly, good to go. When we were driving it around a week ago, you could aim for places but you wouldn't necessarily hit them in the corners, but on this, it just seems to go wherever you want it to go now. So the steering, translating from the wheels to the steering wheel, that's probably the biggest difference you can feel. Like, I can feel every nook and cranny and pothole and just little piece of camber in the road so much better than originally.
So you can, it makes you feel like you can just chuck this at a corner, sling it in, not a care in the world, and you're pretty confident that it will do exactly what you ask. These KW V3s, you know what, I was scared that they were going to be really harsh, but I think we've set it up, we've set the compression and the dampening up just right. So for daily use, it's still perfect, but going around some of these corners now, there is really sort of no lean. Is it worth it? Is it worth paying the money to get a decent set of coilovers on here above the stock ones? And I'm going to try and be as unbiased as I possibly can, knowing full well that it's not myself paying for it. But honestly, yes. If you're spending 35 grand, even on a used one, if you're spending that sort of money on a car specifically hyped up for its ability on the track, I think the original suspension is a bit of a letdown. If you care so much that you want to buy a track-focused car, I think the suspension is something you absolutely must change. Not necessarily just KW, I'm sure there's a lot of other brands out there, but obviously I can only put one set of coilovers on this, and KW seems to be a great choice. It just feels so much more as I think it should from the factory. I can sling this in, I can aim it at an apex, and it goes there. Following these roundabouts, it's proper tight, really rubbish surface roundabouts on the way back from here, and I've got absolute confidence that the car is going to do pretty much whatever I ask. How that translates onto an actual track, I don't know. I'm sure we're going to find out when we nick this from Raj and take it on a couple of track days. We could even weigh it up against a couple of other cars we've got, but anyway, that's something for another day. Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps up the coilover episode for the GR Yaris. If you've stuck with me for this long, thank you so much for watching. I know it probably can't be that easy watching me. If you want to stay up to date with what we're up to on anything, not just the GR Yaris, please make sure you like the video so we know that you are watching it and enjoying it. Subscribe to the channel just so you can keep up to date with everything. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.